Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Devil's Advocate Trades Edition. On our segment, Hard Hats and Hard Truth. I hate you, Michael.
You
I
love it.
hate you,
You
Michael.
love it. Always start
Good,
with a
mo-
laugh. Always start
good,
with a
mo-
laugh.
good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Lisa. Good
Every
morning.
time we count down, guy makes fart noises. Stupid.
Every
And
time.
I'm as immature as I am, I fucking laugh at it instead of
I
just
can't even
holding
drink my coffee. Shut up for a second.
Stupid. Okay, talking about burnout today.
Mm.
So, have you done any research on burnout? Because I hear that there's a lot more involved than just what people think.
I mean, just dealing with business owners, I hear it a lot. Like just fatigue, tired, right? But it's also spinning your wheels and staying in the same place. So
Yeah.
especially with
So yeah, well, it talks about this is what the AI overview says. Burnout
mm,
is a state of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion caused by prolonged, unmanaged stress. While recognizing the World Health Organization as occupational phenomenon, uh, it can, it can affect anyone experience chronic pressure from work, caregiving, or relationships. So interesting that it has it under all of those different facets of life. Like
right.
every area of your life, you can experience burnout, which is kind of interesting because when you sit down and think about it, it's true. Like, think about how much effort you put into relationships, whether they're at work, whether they're at home, whether they're friendships. And no matter what you do, it's like a stagnated state and you can't do anything and you feel like you're bashing your head against the wall. And then you go into burnout because you don't know what else to do to make this person be different or for you to be different. And I think a lot of times people get burnout because not, and I'm just saying this like off the cuff, but for me, I feel that if I'm to get burnout, it's because I'm not doing what I need to be doing for myself. Like I'm missing I'm missing all of the clues. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like everything that's happening, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether it's whatever, I'm just missing it. I'm like making excuses for what's going on around me and going, no, it'll get better. And I'm really bad for that. Like I always want to see the bright side in
Ignoring it.
everybody. I'm like,
That's
everybody
ignoring
farts
it.
rainbows. It's
That's
good.
ignoring it. That's all you're doing.
You know?
But you know what? There's a lot of truth to be had in that, though. Like my father taught me a long time ago before he passed, obviously, because you don't teach anybody stuff after you're dead. But anyways, is he had said stress is a manufactured emotion for shit you don't deal with.
Mm,
So just deal with it. So
agreed.
I've applied that to a lot of different facets of my life, which really like I can't really identify with burnout. There's times I get fatigue, like I'm
Hmm.
tired, right? But I could push through it. But I mean,
But that's
if you're
burnout.
dealing with something, if you're always taking that one little step, that baby step, okay, just keep doing it over and over and over again.
But that's burnout, Michael, because for people like me, like I'm not sitting there going, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Everything's fucking horrible." And then I'm like erratic and high anxiety. I'm just
Right.
like, "I'm gonna go to bed. I'm fucking tired. I nap
Mm.
a lot. It's my
Where I
burnout.
go,
I nap a
where I go,
lot."
and I'm gonna stay up till this is done. 3
Not me.
days
I'm like,
later, still working.
well, like Red asked, she said, "What did you do this weekend?" I'm like, "Fucking nothing." Why? Because my brain is fried from
Yeah,
everything that's going on in my world right now that I'm just like, I did nothing. Like I slept. I took a lot of fucking naps. And
yeah,
you know what though? I'll be honest with you. I took a lot of naps because there's things that are going on in my world that are so surreal right now. It's
right.
like I released an aspect of stagnation and now everything is coming in at once. And I'm like, "Ooh, this is
It's
interesting."
exciting. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
well, it's very exciting because now LPM is like taking off and it's going to start to do well again. So I'm like, sometimes you have to remove that stagnation from your life in order to see the other things,
Right.
right? I
Yep.
know. And I love that you and Red were there for that. You guys are great.
That was fun. It was a great conversation. And I always love the celebrations of wins, whether they're big or
Mhm.
small. I also love the frustrations and hearing people go through them,
Mhm.
right? Because walking it out, talking it out, doing that type of stuff, and sometimes it's waiting it out, right? And it's the whole old adage of, this too shall pass, which means good things will pass and bad things will pass. All in
Yeah.
time or
Well,
effort,
yeah, it's like they say there's no such thing as good news or bad news. It's just news.
just news.
How it impacts you is up to you,
Yep. And only
right?
you are in charge of your emotions. No one else
I
is. It's your
know.
choice.
Listen, sometimes my emotions are in charge of me.
Yeah. It's still all yours. It's still all yours. It's not anybody else's.
Who's
You know, the happy
controlling you?
wife, happy life?
Personality
No, it's
fifteen.
happy wife, their choice.
I hate that term, happy wife, happy I use it, but
Awful.
I hate the term because I'm like, it just sounds so gross to me. Happy
Mhm.
wife, happy life. It's like, you know, that no one's happy if mom's not happy, no one's happy if grandma's not happy. Like, it just sounds like the toxic matriarch in the family. Like, it's kinda
Mm,
gross, you
could
know?
be. Yeah.
I don't like it. I just don't I know what the term means, but it still means kinda that. So it's
What
like when
rhymes
people
with
are like,
husband?
"What's that?"
Happy husband, blah, 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 blend. I don't know. There is nothing.
I don't think there's a phrase for that. I don't know how many husbands are truly happy.
All right, challenge, challenge. What rhymes with husband that can work for this? And we need to popularize it.
I got nothing.
Give it to ChatGPT. Let AI figure it out. I don't have the time or space
I
for this.
got nothing. I should fucking do it. Go to ChatGPT and do it.
You're
Hang on,
already typing. You're like, yeah, yeah,
It's like, "You wanna do this? I wanna do this." Alright,
yeah.
oh, look, it brings up my fucking whole thing. I love this. Okay, word that rhymes with husband.
I don't think there is. I think it's like orange.
Listen, it's let's see what AI says. Abandoned, one hand, gun
Happy
hand,
husband, he's abandoned.
sunbathed, thundered, summoned, near rhyme. What is this? If you want, I can also give you funny rhymes, rap style, romantic poems.
So wait, the
Like,
number
what
one is
the fuck is
abandoned. Oh, that's
abandoned?
oh wow, oh wow. All right. So, anyways,
I know.
so that might have to do with burnout.
I'm sorry,
Damn,
fucking
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is against you, man. It's got nothing.
Listen,
I was like,
it is what it is.
wow.
What did Chris Rock say? Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally.
Yeah, you said that to me once, and I was like, you know what? It was funny when you said that to me because even though we're joking about it, there's so much validity in that comment.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I had to actually stop dead in my tracks. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. But then I think what happens is that men have taken, hear me out, because I don't want you to get all fucking like Cujo on me.
Yep.
Hear me out. So I think it's because in a female dynamic, females are the ones that we were the ones that couldn't have bank accounts. We couldn't have this. We couldn't have that. Everything was ran through the man. It wasn't Mr. Hamoan and and Miss McGrath. It was Mr. and Mrs. Right.
Right.
So they were essentially owned like property. So then women, when they took back their independence and were able to have bank accounts and homes and careers and do all of the things, it was people celebrated it. Because women look for a reason to celebrate. Men don't look for a reason to celebrate. They look for a woman to put together the celebration that they can be a part of. Men don't actually put together celebrations unless you're gay. I know a lot of really great gay guys. I mean, maybe there's some straight guys that are really good
Oh,
at
I make
event
a mean
coordinating.
charcuterie board. I'm just saying.
Listen, so you're bringing the charcuterie board. Are you actually setting up the whole fucking thing or what?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Lies. Lies.
No, listen. You know what? Because I'm a meat eater, so it's like it's meat and cheese. It's all my zone, right? So it's
Yeah,
just
but
like
are you setting up the whole party, sending out the invites, booking the day,
no,
having
no,
people in?
no, 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 no,
Exactly
no,
my
no.
point. Celebration. So a guy's idea of celebration is like him with a couple of buddies or him by himself or him and his person. A woman's idea of celebrations is like family and friends.
Mm,
So if you want, and most men have fun in those, they kind of piss and moan about going because they're like, I don't know if I can do this. But then they go and then they have fun because there's other men. Now, if a man goes and it's all women, then they're kind of like, oh, this is torture.
Depends. That's the depends moment.
I disagree. Most guys don't want not all, but most guys don't want to be in just a room of just females or just
Mm.
males. They usually like a mix. Most men actually like being in a room with mostly men. We call it a sausage party.
Not going there.
I don't know what happened.
Not going there. No.
But that's what we called it back in the day. I was like, oh, it's a sausage party.
Oh,
No
I know,
girls
I know,
sing.
I know, I know. It's still not going there.
But anyway, so regardless, this is where I say to you, women are the ones that create the celebrations and actually actually progress them into an actual celebration where people come. Women host. They're hostesses, right? So then they invite everybody. They get the house ready or the space ready. They do decorations. They're all about the emotional side of that is how this person is going to feel.
Right.
What is going to be the atmosphere for the guests coming in? That's what women take into consideration when they're doing things like this. Most men just show up.
Right.
Sure, you show up with a charcuterie board and good on ya. Some guys will cook. Some guys will be like, you know what? I'm going to grill. I'm going to cook. I'm going to do this. And some
Well,
guys are
always.
really great at cooking and doing that. And that's the part they play. But
Yeah, but the
most of the
barbecue is
time,
the
men are
best
not.
part. You get to sit there, beer in hand, and have somebody critique your abilities on the barbecue, which is perfect because everybody loves that.
Yeah, but normally it's guys that do that.
Oh yeah, no, and we all hate it, but we do it anyway.
It sounds like a guy thing. It doesn't sound like.
It sure does.
I mean, I razz everybody. I don't care who you are. But when it comes to food, I'll tell you something. When it comes to food, I try not to razz people on their food simply because I have to eat it and they're handling it.
True. Yeah, I won't send anything back to a kitchen like at a restaurant. If it goes back to the kitchen, would you like a replacement? No, thank you. I'm good.
I
I saw
will.
waiting. I saw waiting with Ryan Reynolds. I'm not getting another one. No, I'm not saying anything about the service industry as a whole. I'm just saying, you know what? In my mind, I can't with confidence eat that.
It there was a time when that was a thing, but that if that ever came back, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen anymore. It
No idea.
does happen, but if it gets caught, people are in big, 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 big trouble, and so is the
Yeah, no,
restaurant.
no idea. But either way, it's just like, you know what? Plus, by the time you get it, other people have already eaten, and then what? Then you're going to eat, and everybody's waiting for you. It's actually just an
I think
overall
it depends on how you
inconvenience.
send it back, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. I think it depends on how you send it back. So if you're like, "This is fucking gross, blah, blah, blah," and you're being a cunt,
Mm.
I've said that to people before. If you're being an asshole about it, I think then you should probably be concerned. But
Or
if
when
I'm
I
like,
worked in
"Hey,
the
listen,
service
this is just."
industry, and somebody
What's
would
that?
send something back, and it's three quarters eaten, you're like, you just realize this now.
Right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Whereas if I'm sending something back, it's usually like after the first bite or just before it. And I'll
Right.
be like, hey, thank you so much for bringing this out. It looks great. However, I don't really care for this part. I'm pretty sure I told you that I didn't want it. It is what it is. Can you do me a favor and just, can this just be removed from the plate? And
Right.
that's it. That's all there is to it. Because sometimes my big thing is I fucking hate blue cheese. And if there's a dish that comes with blue cheese, I always say no blue cheese.
No
It's
blue
gross. To
cheese.
me, I hate blue cheese. I think it's
I
disgusting.
hate it. It's like a gym bag and socks all together.
I don't care for it.
You
There's
just
some
smell
people
it.
that love it. I don't. I don't love it. But there are a lot of things I'll eat, but that's not one of them. It's like, so there's one dish that I get all the time. I don't tell them to change it, but I will not eat the arugula, which is beef carpaccio. So I'll
Right.
always get beef carpaccio at the Cactus Club, but never,
All right. I don't
I
need the
won't eat it. I'll be
arugula.
like, but I always bring people who will.
Right. Like, who's my salad eaters?
Not even salad. It's fucking arugula. It tastes like dirt.
It doesn't matter. Either way, it's greens, it's leafy, it's vegetable. You know, that goes to
I know you
somebody
don't do
else.
it. I'll eat any other fucking salad. I'll even eat kale, but
Mm,
arugula? Fuck no.
nope.
No.
That's my food's food. Stop stealing it. I'm just
Listen
saying.
here. You know what? I already see who the cannibal is gonna be when shit goes sideways. I'm looking at you. This guy's gonna be hunting people.
That's
Red,
it.
steer clear. He's gonna
All
try and
right,
eat
back to
you.
burnout. Anyways, that was a good 5-minute diatribe there.
Okay, we can get back to burnout.
Yeah.
What can I say? It was funny.
But
Okay, I think
it does
I'll
bring up
I'll
a
tell
good
you
point
where it
though,
went off the fucking
having somebody
rails. It
else.
went off the fucking rails when we chat GPT, something about husband. That's
Husband.
that's where it went off the
But it's
fucking rails.
but you have a good point though, is having somebody else, I think is where burnout can be combated. Right? Is if you have somebody else, a sounding board,
Yeah,
anybody else. And I think a lot of people just lack the willingness to communicate because most people don't want to communicate their failures or frustrations.
agreed.
Whereas if you
I have a
don't,
few sounding boards. Yeah.
yeah,
I have a few sounding boards, and some of them it depends. Like when it's business, Michael, I usually will run to you when it's
crazy
business
lady.
because well, it's because you're an entrepreneur. I
Mm.
can't whine about my fucking problems as an
You can complain
entrepreneur.
while drinking wine. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but I can't be vulnerable about the frustrations of what's going on inside of my business realm to
Mm.
somebody who's an employee. They don't get it.
No, no.
They don't. like, they'll try. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened." But in the back of my head, I'm feeling so crucially judged by them because it's like, "Oh, it's so bad. Oh. You just
Or you
went to
get that, "Well,
fucking
just don't
Mexico,
do it. Just
huh?"
don't do it. Just don't do it. I have
Mm,
to do it. It's not a
yeah.
choice."
Mhm. Yeah. I feel, like, really judged.
Mm,
Now, I have a lot of friends that are really good about doing the like you said, celebrating the wins.
yep,
I have a lot of really good people that do that, but in hindsight, like, I don't know what they're thinking as an entrepreneur, and I do secretly feel judged by my friends that are not entrepreneurs when I'm talking to them about business, so I try not to.
right. It's
Yeah.
easier that way.
Yeah.
Because it's the complexities of having every position.
Mm, it's true.
Mm,
It's true. So, burnout also happens the most at work because people don't know how to say no.
yep,
Too many yes men and women taking on more and more and more tasks, and some are compensated, very few and far between, accordingly, and the rest are
right.
not, which is
Especially
actually what the mental burnout is, knowing that you're not being paid for all of the work that you're doing.
because you carry that frustration
Yeah,
on top of the additional work. Like, I
100%.
see it right now with a lot of people working, like, corporate positions or stuff like that, where they're eliminating a position,
Mhm.
pushing that position onto somebody else,
Yeah.
but they're not giving any of that salary that was existing in somebody else to anyone. They're just pocketing it. Like, I'd be like, That's not what I was hired for," because they'll be so quick to be like, "Oh, we have a contract," which, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, you cannot have a contract in Canada that supersedes Employment Standards Act.
No,
Is
you
that
can't.
correct?
Yeah.
So, if they say your salary is still based on hours. If
Mhm.
you have a contract that says this is what you have to do, this is what you're supposed to do, make sure it falls in line with the ESA. Even if you signed it or not, doesn't matter.
Mhm. Yeah, I've
So
seen that.
this
It's so
happens
funny.
all the time where I'm like, they can't ask you this. It says this is the Employment Standards Act. And they're like, well, it's in my
Yeah,
contract. Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. The act supersedes. It doesn't
Mm,
matter, and I love when people say that to me, "Oh, well, I signed a contract." "Oh, well, you weren't supposed to, and now your
yeah,
employer is gonna get in big trouble for even making you sign away rights."
right.
So now the labor standards is gonna come down on your employer going, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't ask your employees to do this." And the fact that you did and some of them signed, they didn't understand their rights, which at which point, when you hand a document to them like this, you need to have a representative in the room on their side, not yours,
Which
to
sometimes they don't
explain to
even give
them
you
that that's
time to
not what they're
review.
signing.
They don't
What's
even
that?
give you time to review. They're like, here you go, sign it right now. Where was my time to review?
Yeah. And see, I never did that when I did HR. I was always like, "I don't want you to sign blind. I
Right.
want you to read the document.
Right.
So if you need time to go home and read this, take it. You
Read
guys
it.
have it for 48 hours.
Of
Regardless,
course.
the policies are in place, but I want you to come bring me your feedback." And a lot of times when I did rollouts would take a while because we would read through each document so that they had questions,
Yeah.
right? Because you want those questions. Like the biggest one that would come back from employees is intellectual property.
Right.
Okay, that was a big one. And quite rightly, because there are people that are very talented in one atmosphere. So it's like, I'll give you an example. Somebody's in landscaping
Mhm.
and they design something that would be really great in construction, not necessarily landscaping. And then all of a sudden they've signed an intellectual property right agreement. And now the boss is saying, "Oh, I own that."
Right.
And it's like, so what I explained to them, and I actually rewrote mine, that if you utilize company hours, company tools, and company resources to formulate this, we now have a stake.
Right. Which means
If
don't
you
send it
don't,
from your work email. Don't use your work computer,
yeah,
which also means you should actually, like, these contracts are kind of funny because they'll say use your personal computer for work. And then if you use your personal computer, like I've heard of cases like this where you use your
yeah,
personal computer, but because it's assigned to work,
mhm,
oh, well, then this. Like, come on, really? No, just
that's
be like,
how
cool. I
it's
don't
they
use
try
my
and find
personal computer
workarounds.
for you. No, I
They
don't
try and
use my
find
personal
workarounds.
computer for you. I don't use my personal phone for you. I don't
Mhm,
use anything personal. If you need me to use tech, provide the tech.
mm. Well, this is what I say, okay? When people come to me and go, "Oh, well, I had to use my personal phone for work." Okay. Well, they want me to remove everything. Well, they can't make you do anything. It's your personal phone unless they were paying for it. And when I say pay for it, I mean like they actually bought you the phone, they paid all of your stuff, and they also ensured that that number was locked to your phone, which would then make it a company phone and give them rights, and it's no longer
Right.
your personal phone. So if you pay the bill is in your name, you bought the phone, you have the contract, then I guess that's seems like all you can say to them is, yeah, it's been removed, and that's all they can do. They can't actually make you hand over their phone.
I don't know. I don't know. I imagine there's strong enough lawyers that it would become a battle of the lawyers and who's got the better lawyer. So just
No,
avoid it.
lawyers no, because it's against the law. In
Is it?
Alberta, no, they
Oh,
won't.
not Alberta? Okay.
There's
I have
lawyers
no
that
idea.
come back and say, "We need you to confirm that you have removed this information," which means if anybody's contacted, so if you contact me, not me contact you, then they have a case, but they gotta prove it.
All right.
Right? You can't stop somebody from obtaining work and having contacts. If a contact has your personal number, you might not reach out to them, but them reaching out to you is fair game.
See, this is why I couldn't be an employee. I couldn't deal with this kind of crap.
Yeah, it gets
Maybe
difficult.
like
It
just
gets
like
it gets
not
very
having
confusing.
control of your own stuff at all points in time, which means
Well,
you also have control over all your problems too, and
yeah.
all the good things and all the bills and all of the everything.
Yeah, but that's why I tell people when they're really concerned, to go seek out a, like, HR specialist that's
Mhm.
a consultant, right? And I've talked about a couple of them. I also am one as well, but she's far more knowledgeable than I am. I mean, this is her whole world. But
Right.
when it comes down to somebody calling me up, like, this is where I tell people, like, being a true HR advocate, we're actually quite dangerous because it means that an employer can come to us and we can tell them all the laws to help them get rid of somebody. And then
Mhm.
we can go to an employee and tell them all the laws to go after their employer,
Right.
right? So we know both sides. So if you're dealing with an in-house one, good luck. But if you're dealing with one that's a consultant on the outside, that's like independent third party,
Mhm.
you're gonna find out a lot more. You're gonna get a lot more information. It's worth paying an independent for like an hour and a half for
Right.
information and come ready with your questions. Don't waste anybody's time. Consultants aren't gonna sit and talk to you for free.
No. No.
But, you know, so
Well, how do you
it,
how do you deal with burnout? Like, what do you do to combat it?
I nap.
Nap?
I nap. I
Mm.
nap and call you in red.
There you go. There you go.
I usually will. So that's honest. I do everything I can to shut my brain completely off.
Yep.
So I shut my brain off by taking a nap, by having people come over, doing a barbecue, chilling out, just remembering what it is to just be happy and grateful in my life. And then I will find people that are trusted that I will go and I will have that conversation with to deal with it. 9 times out of 10, the conversation comes first because it's not going to come out of my head.
Right.
So I would rather have the conversations of frustration and irritation and anger and disappointment. I'd rather have that conversation before I engage in other things. If I don't want to have the conversation, I pretty much am like by myself on my couch watching a show, having a
Mm.
beer.
That's fair.
Because I don't want to be that person to anybody. I don't want to bring down I'm pretty good at like changing my mood really quickly,
Mhm.
but I don't I don't try to redirect myself. I don't try to do anything that's going to exacerbate the issue. If anything, I want to kind of bring it down because my
Mhm.
brain's already going a mile a minute. And so, but that would be me. What about you? What do you do?
Hike. I
Yeah,
hike. I get out in nature. I'll even do business calls from there. So I've taken business calls, like Zoom meetings, everything else while I'm still on my hike.
that's a lie. You don't take your phone with you.
No,
What a lie.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But usually if I bring my phone with me and I don't have meetings, it's on airplane mode. I've got music on, and all of a sudden 4 hours has gone by and I'm in a river. Right? Like, which happens. That water is really cold right now. Really cold.
Listen, do you remember when you dropped your phone in the river and then you couldn't talk to me for like 4 days and you were like, listen, I dropped my phone in the river and I was like, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, and then I get around to getting it replaced. Okay.
I was like, fucking
I
God.
have no if somebody works in tech, I really have no direct need for my phone. Like Red will say all the
No,
time, "You're not bringing your phone with you?" No, what do I need it for?
no.
What if somebody calls? I'm not fire, police, or paramedic. If it's that much of an emergency, that's probably who you should be calling. Outside of that, I'll call you back.
It's fair. I think more of
I
us need to.
grew up with landlines only,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I mean, we all grew I mean, most of us grew up like that, like, as in our generation. So,
mm,
there's, like, the kids that were probably born '87 and up saw that,
yeah,
right? The landlines, they were kind of like we call them the analog to digital, right?
right,
Whereas the digital kids are all more like in the '90s and 2000s are more the digital kids. So, there I agree with you that we were raised like that, so it really shouldn't be that hard for us to go back,
right.
right? And so
It's
that's
not.
why I find myself like when you said like what do you do? And that's what I do is that when I'm feeling a burnout
Mm,
coming, right? And I use the air quotes because for me it's not always a full on burnout. Like it doesn't it I know what it is, but I'm not like, "Oh, I'm burning out." It's just I need downtime. That's how I
yeah,
compute it. I need downtime. And I will turn my phone off and put it on my charger upstairs in my room, and I'm, like, on the main level just doing whatever. I'm either cleaning or I'm whatever I'm doing.
right.
And I don't go up and look at it for the whole day. I don't care.
Mm,
I'm like, "There's nothing important." Here's the thing. My kids have a special ringtone. They have an emergency bypass call on my phone that rings the loudest if it's my children. If they're not out, they're with me. If they're not with me, I know where they are.
mm,
I'm just not, you know what I mean? So the two most important people in my life, I have tabs on before I do something like that,
right,
right? And I did it this weekend and Ty was with his dad, but again, he has an emergency bypass.
right,
And Tyler's the kind of kid that if I text mom twice and she doesn't respond, I'm going to call her and then I can hear his ringtone anywhere in the house. Doesn't matter. I have it on silent, I have it on do not disturb and I do.
yeah.
They come through, they're on emergency bypass. So, that's why I never worry because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, I'll hear that call."
I have no emergency bypass. Nothing.
Well, you don't have kids.
I don't have kids. I don't have kids. So I
You
certainly
might put an
understand.
emergency bypass for red, though.
No,
Listen,
no.
quit it.
I'm with her all the time. So yeah, we need a
That's a
bypass for
fair statement. That's a fair statement.
it. Like, all right. And when if you're at work, you're not calling anyways because you can't, right? Because the
It's true.
industry she's in. So
It's true. It's
she's
true.
like,
Okay,
okay,
so
we can.
what do you think some of the best I mean, you said people need to just be honest with themselves because stress is derived from not dealing with
She's not
not
dealing with it.
like not speaking out the problem and actually addressing it as a problem, like not
Right.
acknowledging it.
Right.
That's kind of where we're going with
Or
this,
just
right?
letting yourself sit in your own thoughts for a second. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think like our generation, we can unplug. The new generation is constantly plugged in all aspects. And I think they're going to experience burnout at a different level that we've never seen.
Mhm.
Right. Because like once they're dealing with each other in not just the social space, but now they're dealing with each other in the workspace where it's constant, right? Like if you work like as your work buddies, right, are now like
Yeah.
your different levels of work buddies, and everybody's texting everybody's on everybody's social media, and they're just like ding 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 all the time.
Yeah.
Holy crap, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like people aren't going to I don't think people know how to let go. And here's the other point that I wanted to make. It's going to sound like shit, but I'm glad I'm going to say it to someone like you because you'll have a retort for me. But how many men sit in their feelings and then have suicidal thoughts?
The vast majority of suicides.
So how can we sit here and say the solution is to sit in your thoughts, but half the time these guys are like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing? I should just go end it all.
Well, remember, but we tied it together. Sit in your thoughts, but talk to somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Good
Right?
point.
Sometimes it's talking to yourself. Sometimes it's making sure to rope somebody in to make sure that you're in the right avenue. You're going the right direction.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Hmm.
mean talking to your doctor about maids. That means talking to actually somebody else who's not a doctor. Because we talked about maids the other week, which is a huge piss off for both of us. But in the right
Okay.
element, it makes sense. But in the element it's being used in, does not. No. So go
Fucking,
watch that other
oh,
episode.
shots fired, Michael. Shots fired.
But yeah, go fucking talk to somebody.
I agree. I agree. That's a good point. I missed that step that you need another person to be that sounding board. I agree with you. There needs to be a sounding board. I think too many people try to work it out on their own only to because people are their own worst enemy and then we catastrophize. Naturally, we will catastrophize. We will look at a situation and then we'll be like, "Holy fuck, this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening, and then this is happening. And then you're trying, especially a lot of people that are ADHD are trying to prioritize how to address it, but becomes so overwhelming that they're like, why the fuck am I even trying?
Right.
Right.
It's like we're really
So
good at doing the dishes until you miss one, and then the sink is full. You're like, how did that happen? I was so good. And then I didn't wash one plate, and all of a sudden my
uh,
sink's full of dishes. How did
mhm,
this happen?
it's not
Like, you
wrong.
didn't deal with it as you were going. You see what I mean? Deal with it as you're going. Don't wait for something to get big.
So
That's something we
I
got to handle.
fair. I had a lady on. She's amazing. She actually coached me for a bit. Her name is Jill. And Jill has a book out called Knowings. I have it somewhere. It's in my space somewhere.
Knowing. Okay.
Because I was reading it and it's really good. And Jill and I were talking about how there's this men's club and they do like getaways and they do like camping trips and it's just all men to help men with mental
Mhm.
health. It is, and it's like out in BC. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And they were coming into Alberta, like they go all over the place. I can't remember the name of it, Michael, but I swear I will
There's a
figure it
couple
out.
of
It's in
groups
one of
like
my
that. I come
podcasts.
across them a lot.
Yeah, it's in one of my podcasts. And like Jill was awesome when she talked to me about it. And her name is Jill Drader, and she's great. And so when we were talking about it, because I said to her, like, what can we do? Suicide rates are so high, especially amongst males. And that's the biggest thing is that they don't want to talk to anybody. Like you guys have all been told that it's like you can't talk to anybody. But then when I talk to you, you're actually the guy people go to.
Usually.
Usually, you're the guy that's like, you don't have a whole lot of judgment. You're like, "Hey, man, what do you need? You need me to come by? You wanna just sit and talk? You wanna like
Yeah.
whatever. You wanna go for a hike?" Like, you're so super chill about having that camaraderie with men, and everyone will be like, "Oh, you're such a pussy," and it's like, but he's not. He's helping another man by saying, "Yeah, I got you. What's going on in your
What's
world?"
your
Like,
name?
all guys chew on shit and talk to each other. I don't understand why men think it's so weak to do that. Meanwhile, have you seen what happens when like a Super Bowl or a fucking, like our Grey Cup is lost? Like that's really emotional. You know, a lot of emotions
We
go
do
on.
have some emotions. There's something. They come welling to the surface every once in a while. There's
I'm
um
just
there's a there's a song, and it's wildly popular right now, and I quite enjoy it. It's God Can You Hear Me by Dax.
Mhm,
And so if you watch the official video, it's a guy who's originally sitting in his car, the phone rings, it's his mom, he doesn't answer it. He ends up going up to a bridge and leaping off the bridge. Then it reverses through the song, it reverses through the song. He goes back into his car, like, and just like he goes to get out of his car. And then Dax gets into the car, where I thought the ending of that should have been the phone rings with his mom and he picks it up.
mhm.
Right. So I think the ending should have been like, you know what? When somebody's reaching out, 8 minutes, right? That's all.
Yeah,
Oftentimes, that's all people need, 8 minutes. So when somebody calls or texts you or says whatever, I need 8 minutes of your time. That's kind of like, like the safety thing from women, right?
yeah,
Is, like that's like that. Somebody says you need 8 minutes, you got 8 minutes, whatever you
yeah.
need.
Everyone's got 8 minutes. Everyone
Yep.
does. So I don't care who you are. And if you don't have 8 minutes and that person doesn't mean enough to you, and then you should just take yourself off as a good friend. It's your shit
Right.
friend. Well, true. Because if I was in the middle of a meeting and you called me and said, I need 8 minutes, I would excuse myself from the meeting and say,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I
This is an
apologize.
emergency.
And
Yep.
I would just walk away and I would just go to wherever and I would be like, what's going
Oh,
on? Do you know what I mean?
there's
It's 8 minutes. Nothing's gonna fucking happen in that meeting in 8 minutes. And if they turn around and say, well, we don't want to work with you, then I don't want to work with them because if they're not willing to let me take a call like I would do for them when they need my 8 minutes of time,
yep.
fuck off.
There's a
Do you know what I
really
mean?
famous coach guy. I can't remember his name. He's got glasses, really, really nice guy. He talks about the 8 minute thing. But then he also talks about like somebody said, well, I didn't want to call to bother you. And you're like, how dare you deny me my ability to help you?
Yeah.
Right. Because the thing is, like, people do want to help their friends. They do want to help their family. They do want to help those stuff. But if you
Yeah.
deny them that ability to help you,
Yeah.
then do you care about them either?
Hmm.
Right. So reach out.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
And all this is to stop burnout. All this is to stop poisonous thoughts. All of this is to stop suicidal thoughts. All of this is to make each other better, to really reinforce the community elements that can exist inside of your sphere.
100%. 100%. Okay, we can wrap up. We're actually doing good today.
35
But
minutes. Not
right?
bad.
Okay. So, What's our next topic next week? Do we have one?
I don't,
Are we gonna, like, jump back down the political hole that we do?
I don't think it's ready yet because, I mean, like, everything's kind of up in the air right now as far as Canada, US goes. I mean, nobody seems to know what's going on.
It's
Everybody's
true.
just doing this,
It's accurate. It's
right?
accurate. Okay. Well, we've got a week to think about it.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
Okay.
out.
Okay. Well, thank you, Michael, as always.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you.
I think you talked the most on this one. This actually kinda makes me
Whoa,
excited.
whoa, rare. I'll clip some of myself out.
You're not allowed to edit.
You're not
No
allowed to edit.
editing. No
No editing.
editing. Okay, everybody, have an amazing week, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Don't do anything crazy.